Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm sorry, but I have a piece of candy in my mouth. I didn't think about this before recording, but I need to record now. And I ate a piece of candy and threw away the wrapper, and I don't want to stick the nasty piece of candy on my cat hair covered desk. So, you're gonna have to deal with hearing it hit my teeth. It's like a caramel hard candy. They're like really good. They remind me of Kachan, or Bakugo, or Katsuki, or whatever you want to call them. Purely because I saw a thing that said he smells like caramel. So, I'm sorry. Today we are reading His Reasons. It's a Todoroki X Reader fanfic by AshleyH713. I'm gonna read the other two as well today. I only read one yesterday. And I'm gonna read the other two today with this one. And then I'm gonna go watch A Silent Voice, which seems really good. I've seen things of it and it looks really good and really sad. So, yeah. Chapter 17 of Season 3. Let's begin. It was Sunday, and the day that Amari had been dreading all week had finally come like a slap in the face. It was the day of the marriage interview. Quickly changing into a simple sweatshirt and pants, she paused when a loud knock was overheard through her door, followed by the sound of it opening. There's a fly flying around my room. She did leave it open this morning anyways, so that wasn't really surprising. I can't believe you're actually up this early. Normally you'd be snoring still. Amari gasped that, slapping her brother on the shoulder in a fake annoyance. Hey, I do not snore. I think you're referring to yourself, Katsuki. Bakugo frowned in response, pushing his sister back a couple of inches and causing her to brush the comb over the wrong part of her face. Shut up, idiot. I don't snore either. You must need your ears checked or something. She couldn't help but smile under her breath at this. Ever since the night they confessed everything to each other, the twins' relationship seemed more natural. Like there was some kind of mutual understanding between each other. Honestly, it was nice. She felt like she didn't have to hide anything from him anymore. Grumbling back, Bakugo pointed his thumb in the direction of the hallway then. Come on, that damn Deku decided to make breakfast for everyone, and I'm not gonna eat his disgusting cooking, but that doesn't mean you can't. Honestly though, I don't even understand how you can stomach that kid still. She placed her brush down before answering back apologetically, her eyes having a hint of sadness to them. He's really not that bad, and I think I'm okay. I'm not really hungry right now. This caused Katsuki to frown. Oh no, that's not happening. Now get down there before I drag you. You need to eat. I won't let you stay up here and act all depressed and shit. And I'm pretty sure the others won't either. Amari seemed surprised at his words, knowing fully well that Deku probably made that breakfast to cheer her up because of the interview. Unfortunately, her stomach wasn't feeling all that up to food right now. Thanks for the offer, but I'm okay, really. I have somewhere to go today, anyways. Although Bakugo still didn't seem pleased at that, shrugging his shoulders and replying, Suit yourself. Then, in a single motion, he grabbed onto Amari's waist before hoisting her over his shoulder like one large sack of potatoes. He did warn her, although that didn't stop her from protesting. Katsuki, what the hell? Put me down. You know how much I hate this. I swear, if I had a cork right now, you would be on fire. Yet Bakugo only mildly listened to her insults, now moving out the door and into the common area where the others were. He wasn't going to let her about Todoroki all alone. No, he already promised he'd be there for her. Not a chance. Let's go. Deku and the rest of the class eyed the twins with interest as Bakugo rounded the corner, now hearing Amari's threats as clear as day as she was slung over his shoulder. Something had definitely changed between them, and Midoriya was happy about that. He had never seen Kachan so animated before. Throwing her onto the nearby sofa, Amari flopped off the side and onto the ground, groaning as she rubbed her head. I hate you. Although Bakugo only smirked, crossing his arms around his chest. No, you don't, stupid. Grumbling to herself, the girl jumped back up then, knowing that he was right. Shut up. Just then, Deku came between them, now holding a plate of waffles in their direction. Now, let's not fight. Look, I made breakfast for everyone. I thought we could all eat together. Glancing at the food, Katsuki scoffed. There's no way I'm eating with you, you damn Deku, so forget that. Well, that's what he thought, before seeing Amari place a hand on his shoulder. Thank you, Midoriya. I know why you did all this, and I really appreciate it. Blinking back in surprise, Deku coughed. What? I don't know what you mean, Amari-chan. Yet Amari was smarter than that. You did all this to get my mind off the marriage interview, right? It's alright, but you really didn't have to do that, though. Knowing he had been caught, Deku sighed. I'm sorry, Amari-chan. I just know how hard everything's been for you, and I wanted to do something to make you happy. Todoroki's interview must be hard on you as well. At his name, Amari's eyes fell, now staring at her watch in surprise. Oh shoot, I have to go. I'm sorry, Midoriya, but I have an appointment I have to go to. I feel really bad. I can't eat with you all. Deku froze for a moment before shaking his head nervously. Oh no, it's okay. I probably should have checked with your schedule and everything before I did this. I guess I didn't really think that far ahead. Oh, I know. How about I save some for you so you can have it later. Nodding her head, Amari smiled. I'd like that. Thank you. There is a hair in my eye. Lifting the plate up, he replied happily. Okay, I'll do that then. I'll make sure Kacchan doesn't eat them all. Just then, Bakugo's voice broke through their bubble. What did you just say? Just for that, I'm gonna eat them all, you damn Deku. Give them here. Trying to move the plate away, Deku gasped. Kacchan, no! You can't! These are for Amari-chan! Reaching again, Katsuki turned to his sister before speaking roughly. And you! Don't you dare do anything stupid while you're out. You got that? Mari thought for a moment before smirking back. No promises. Frowning back, his sister felt an unease in his expression and sighed. Alright, I'll be careful, but only if you do the same, brother. Realizing fully well that she just called him stupid, Bakugo grumbled as he shooed her away. Whatever, just hurry up, idiot. Smiling back, the girl put a hand up in response before shutting the door behind her and sighing. It didn't matter how much they tried to cheer her up. Amari already knew that this was going to be a long day. Walking up the steps to the hospital. I see the fly, and it's gone. Walking up the steps of the hospital, Amari tightened the hood over her head carefully. She may have gotten All Might's permission to leave the grounds, but that didn't mean that she was in the clear. If anyone saw her right now, then they would surely flip out. She was being accused as a villain and all. She knocked on the surface of the door, before sliding it open slowly, the woman on the other side seeming very confused. Hello? Can I help you? Stepping fully inside, Amari then removed her hood, revealing herself all at once. Hello, Miss Todoroki. It's so nice to see you again. I hope I'm not intruding. I'm gonna say it's Ray. Blinked in surprise at her presence, gesturing her inside. Bakugo, not at all. What a lovely surprise for you to come visit. Please come in. Is Shoto with you by any chance? Shaking her head, Amari sighed. No, I'm sorry. It's just me. He's busy at the moment. Her eyes saddened then, pointing towards the TV. Oh dear. I already know about the interview, so you don't have to hide it. One of the only things I can do in here is watch the news. The girl turned her face into one of confusion, then, wait, if you watch the news, then aren't you afraid I'm going to attack you or something? You know, being accused of a villain? Being accused as a villain and all? Of a villain doesn't make sense to me, but I guess that's just not how I speak. Todoroki's mother thought about this for a moment before smiling back. I may not know much about you, Bakugo, but I know you are not a villain. If my son was changed because of you, then that means you must have the heart of a hero. Feeling a wave of emotion in her throat, Amari answered, I know this is selfish, but I just don't know who to turn to for this kind of thing. I don't want to let Shoto go, but staying with him means that he'll be criticized. I don't want that either. Ray thought for a moment, seeing the girl's devastating look before resting a warm hand on her knee. Bakugo, do you love my son? Nodding her head, Amari's voice cracked on her answer. More than anything. His mother smiled at that. I can really see that. I know our family isn't the most normal or kind, and I can't promise you that you won't face many trials in the future. But if you truly love my son, then you must be willing to support each other no matter what. The scars we face are great, but if you are willing to love him despite that, then you already have my blessing. Looking towards the floor, the girl replied, but if I stay with him, it will hurt his chances of being a hero. The woman then grasped Amari's hand, speaking back firmly. Do you truly believe that he won't accomplish his goal by being with you? Yes, staying will make it harder, but that's just the facts you face. Love isn't supposed to be easy, Bakugo. So now it's your turn to decide. Will you run, or will you choose to jump into the fire together? Thinking about her words, Amari sighed. Can't you just tell me what to do? But Ray only shook her head, patting the girl's hand lightly. I'm afraid not. This is your choice to make, Bakugo. I understand if you don't want to involve yourself with our family, but I would also understand if you choose to fight. I myself sometimes wished I fought instead of running, but regardless, I fully respect your decision. Thinking about her words, Amari was in turmoil. What was she going to decide? After her talk with Todoroki's mother, she was even more confused. She was hoping that the woman would shed some light on the situation, but it only brought more questions. If Ray had just told her to leave or stay, then it would have made things so much easier. Sighing in exasperation, Amari leaned her head back against the cold park bench she was sitting on. What was she going to do now? Suddenly, a voice to her right made her entire body freeze. Wait, that's her, right? Gasping, Amari sat up and fixed her hood in anxiety. Oh crap, had someone recognized her from the news? This could be really bad. Although when she looked down, the girl found a small child staring back at her. The look in their eyes was somewhat familiar. It's you! Mommy, I found her! Turning panicked, Amari's fingers raised to her lips to shush the girl. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm no one. You must have the wrong person. But she stopped again when another voice entered the space, now concerned. Ember, what are you doing running off by yourself? Amari turned around, then only to find a very familiar face, a woman. She locked eyes with her for a moment, before stepping forward in shock. It is you. Turning on her heel, the girl tried to leave as fast as possible before drawing a crowd. This was bad. This was really bad. I don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye. Although the woman was fast, racing forward in a shout. Wait, don't go. I wanted to thank you. This caused Amari to stop, turning her head in disbelief. Thank me? Nodding her head, the woman reached out her hand to touch the girl's arm softly before replying. Yes, I'm sorry you probably don't recognize me. You're the girl that was in Hosa during the attack, right? You saved my family, and I never got to thank you properly. Thinking back to her intern training, Amari did remember running into that burning building to save a family of 5. Then it clicked. That's exactly where she knew this mother and daughter from. Blinking back in surprise, Amari put a hand up to stop her kindness. Oh, it was nothing. I didn't really do anything special. Just then, the small child ran up to her, pulling her pant leg. You were so awesome fighting those bad guys. I want to be a hero just like you when I grow up. At the word hero, her face fell. I'm not much of a hero, though. Back then, I was only interning. And even then, I got expelled for acting out of line. This caused the woman to frown, replying back, If it wasn't for you, I would have lost my family. It doesn't matter what you are. To us, you are a hero. Mari's eyes widened then, just as the little girl spoke again. What's your name? I want to know so I can be just like you. Kneeling down to the girl's level, Amari answered back. My name is Amari. Bakugo Amari. And are you sure you want to be like me? There are plenty of other heroes to look up to. But the girl only shook her head, stomping her foot in annoyance. No, they aren't as cool as you. And hey, your name is kinda like mine. That means you can be named Ember too, so we can be twins. Smiling back, the woman scolded the girl. Ember, that's not how names work. Sorry, she's a very imaginative child. Thinking back for a moment, Amari shook her head, smiling back towards the kid. That's okay, I kind of like it. Clapping in excitement, Ember then plucked a single pink flower before handing it to the girl. Yay! Now we can be twins! This is for you! Carefully taking the flower, the mother then interrupted them. Alright, I'm sure Bakugo has some more hero work to do. Say goodbye, Ember. Pouting her lips, Ember frowned before leaning forward and kissing Amari's cheek and turning away. Bye, Ember! Thanks for saving us! Putting her hand up in response, Amari watched his family go in complete and utter shock. With all this talk of being a villain the last couple of days, that was the first time someone had ever called her a hero. She kind of liked it. Moving back towards the dorms, Amari twirled the pink flower in her hand before hearing her phone ring inside her pocket. Pulling out, she expected it to be Bakugo, but was surprised to find Deku on the other line. Midoriya? What is it? He paused for a moment before answering back. I'm really sorry, Amari-chan, but I can't hold it in anymore. Are you really okay with Todoroki going to this interview? Her face fell then, not really wanting to talk about the topic. It's not really like I have a choice. He and I both decided that it would be for the best. Shaking his head, Deku exclaimed back, I know, but I can't live with that. You love him, right? Then you shouldn't let his dad drive you apart. Frowning back, she replied, It's not that easy, and you know it. It's better this way. Yet once again, he wasn't finished. Is it better if he marries someone else then? She stopped in her tracks then, laughing back shortly. It's just an interview. It's not like he's going to actually get married or anything like that. This is just to call off the press. There was silence then, causing Amari to feel a small pit in her stomach. Something wasn't right about this. Why did you stop talking? Gulping back, Deku replied small. Amari-chan, it's all over the news. It's not just an interview Todoroki is going to. It's an engagement party. At his words, Amari's face grew numb, almost dropping the phone in her hand. Endeavor said that this was just a small interview to get the press off their backs. That lying son of a bitch. What did you just say? The boy started to talk very fast, now knowing that she was incredibly upset with the news. I swear, I didn't know until a couple of minutes ago, and when I found out, I called you right away. But are you really okay with letting this happen, Amari-chan? You have to stop it. Shaking her head back and forth, Amari started to grow dizzy. This wasn't the plan. This wasn't supposed to happen. No, I can't. I promised I would stay away. His voice echoed back just as quickly, though. If you don't do something, Todoroki's going to be taken away. Do you really want that? Gripping her phone tighter, Amari cried. What don't you understand about the fact that I can't? There will be news crews if I go there. I'll just be putting him in more criticism. That bastard, he knew I'd be stuck here. God damn it! She felt her entire body shake at the realization the boy she loved was going to be taken away forever because she was too much of a coward to face the press. No, she refused to let this happen. The line was silent for a couple moments, Deku calling back in anxiety. Amari-chan? Although all he got was a couple words, followed by what sounded like running. Shit, tell Katsuki I'm going to be late. Then the line went dead as Amari raced off down the streets as fast as possible. It didn't matter that she felt like her heart was begging her to stop. She needed to crash this engagement if it was the last thing she did. Dodging in between various cars and people, Amari found her way to the Todoroki estate quickly, now looking over the looming wall ahead of her. Without a quirk, this was going to be difficult, but she had to try. Stretching her hands out, she began to climb the tree next to her, ignoring her breathless mannerisms. Stupid body. She couldn't stop now. Leaping across the wall, Amari landed with a thud, only for a couple bodyguards to notice her presence. Hey you! What do you think you're doing? Widening her eyes in slight fear, the men went to grab her as she dodged one of their attacks, now feeling the other man's hand on her arm. Got you! Grumbling back, Amari fought her attackers before taking her knee and kicking the man straight in the balls, causing him to double over in pain. That would show him. Then before he could get up, Amari took off running through the estate, determined to find the party as quickly as possible. She heard the guards racing after her, but the girl continued on, stopping only for a moment when she bumped into someone unexpectedly. Stumbling back, she bowed in response before putting back. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of in a rush. The stranger eyed her for a moment, brushing off his jacket in response. He seemed to have white hair and a rather easygoing stance to him. It's okay. Are you looking for something? Nodding her head, Amari's head whipped around him in 1,000 different directions. This wasn't good. She had only been in this house once, and she hardly knew the layout. Soon it would be too late. Yeah, I was looking for Shoto. Do you know where he could be? The man looked at the girl for a couple seconds before his lips curved into a small smirk. Now he knew who she was. Yeah, follow me. Then the stranger turned on his heels before gesturing the girl to follow, which she complied to. She didn't know why, but somehow she knew she could trust him. He led her to 2 large double doors before pointing back. He's in there. You came just in time, Bakugo. Narrowing her eyes in confusion, Amari replied, Wait, you know my name? Although the man only smirked back, pushing open the large door with a hand. Another time. You have something to do now, don't you? Turning towards a soft sound of music, Amari understood what he meant, ignoring the stranger for now, and instead choosing to run inside. She couldn't think about him at the moment. She needed to talk to Todoroki. Yet seeing the action, Natsu could only smile. So this was the girl his sister was telling him about. Interesting. It's not a name I can say, I'm sorry. Slamming the door open, the entire party stopped and stared at her presence, Amari's breathless voice cutting through the space. Shoto, I have to talk to you. Todoroki's eyes turned concerned, seeing the state she was in. Why on earth was she here now? Didn't she want him to go through with this? Amari, what are you doing? What are you? Taking a step forward, one of the guests screamed, now recognizing who she was and pointing an accusatory finger at her. Ah, it's her! It's that villain! Someone call a pro hero, right now! Amari tried to move closer, but only for her hand to wrap around her arm, pulling her back. Crap, it seemed those bodyguards caught up to her. You're not going anywhere. Pulling against them, the girl struggled with everything she had. No, she couldn't get thrown out. She still had so much to say to him. Wait, stop it. Let me go. I have to talk to Shoto. Get your hands off me. Suddenly, everything stopped when Todoroki decided to speak, stepping away from his future marriage partner in a single motion. Let her go. I want to hear what she has to say. Just like that, the men let her go. The girl was rubbing her wrist at the action. This was it. She only had one shot to tell him how she felt. Glancing towards the camera for a moment, Amari spoke. Shoto, I know I don't have a lot to offer to your family. I'm not smart, brave, or strong. I don't even have a quirk anymore, so I can't strengthen your bloodline or help you become the best hero. I know I'm not suitable for your legacy in the slightest, and I would bring you nothing but hardship in the future. She took one step forward, then feeling a wave of emotion in her throat. But even despite that, you saved me. You made me feel whole again. And you made me believe that I was worth something more than just my quirk. You picked me up from my lowest points and forced me to never let go, even though it would have been easier in the long run. You never looked at me and saw only my condition. You never underestimated me, and you showed me that maybe I was more than just Katsuki's sister. Blinking the tears away, Amari then glanced at the camera before continuing. I'm known to the world as Confession Girl, so here's my confession to you, Shoto. I am reckless, dense, quirkless, and I have nothing to offer, but this reckless, dense, and useless girl loves you so much. She can't understand it. She can't stand it. Then she reached out her hand towards Todoroki, shaking slightly as she finished. So I asked, Todoroki Shoto, as I stand here with no quirk, no hero name, no title, and no shame, would you accept this quirkless girl who loves you? The room became silent then, everyone staring at Todoroki to see what he would do. The boy himself looked shaken as well, as if he was in a complete and utter shock. Then in a single motion he extended out his hand towards Amari, his own voice shaken as well, like he was trying to hold back the tears. Of course I will. Their palms met each other as Amari let out a sob, now pulling him into a tight embrace as she cried. It was like a dream come true. Todoroki accepted her as she was. As they pulled away, Todoroki turned back towards the party before speaking. I'm sorry, but this engagement is cancelled. I already have someone I care deeply about, and she's right by my side. Blushing slightly, Amari's eyes then locked on Endeavor, who was standing in absolute silence. That was weird. Shouldn't he be more upset with her declaration? Although she couldn't think that long as Todoroki began to pull her away. Come on, let's go. Nodding her head, Amari followed his lead, stopping to see Fumi smiling like a crazy person on their way out and shouting back, You go, Shoto! You go, Shoto! Get your girl! He groaned in response, only for Amari to laugh as they left the party, fully hands intertwined, now knowing they weren't going to let each other ever go again. Once they were free from the press, Amari and Todoroki stopped walking. Staring up at the newly turned night sky, they couldn't believe that just happened. She really crashed his engagement party. Now that the adrenaline was gone, though, Amari felt her lungs starting to collapse in on themselves, now leaning forward in a breathless gasp. This caused the boy to run towards her, now afraid. Amari, what's wrong? Shaking her head, the girl fell to her knees, trying to speak a couple times before successfully managing words. I'm okay, it's just running is not great for me. He turned his brow in concern, now noticing the dirt on her clothes. You ran all the way to the party? Nodding her head, she spoke back. I couldn't let you go. Todoroki's heart fluttered then, placing a hand on her back to calm her breaths quicker. Still, you didn't have to run. You know how your body is now. Although she only shook her head, able to speak without pauses. Although still breathing heavy. I don't know. I heard about the party and I couldn't stop myself. Before I knew it, I was running. I made it though. Smiling back slightly, Todoroki nodded. Yeah, you did. Mari smiled as well, narrowing her eyes a moment later. I'm sorry I ruined the plan. People will still keep coming after you now. Probably more so than ever. I'm sorry I put you through this. Ow. Thinking for a moment, the boy replied, no matter what happens, we will get through this together. No more talking about separating though, alright? I don't think either of us can bear it anymore. Nodding her head, Amari's hand found its way to his face, tracing the lines like she used to do. I missed you, Shoto. I know I said I'd be okay with this, but I just couldn't do it. I can't live without you. Closing his eyes at the sensation, Todoroki's hand touched her waist lightly. I feel the exact same way. You're a part of me now, Amari. Whether you like it or not, and the separation hurt me as well. I don't want to live like that again. Dipping her face towards his, Todoroki's lips collided with hers, missing the sensation more than anything in the world. Now hearing her hum with excitement, it seemed she missed this just as much as he did. Pulling her closer, Amari's hands touched his hair, lightly pulling on the strands as his body grew closer to hers, hungry for what they both had to go without for so long. His hands traveled up then, causing a sharp shiver to echo through her entire body. His fingertips were driving her absolutely crazy, dancing across her spine in a single motion. Their kiss was desperate, longing for each other and making up for lost time all in one moment of time. This was the first time that Amari felt like he was loving all of her, accepting her for all her flaws and weaknesses at the same time. It didn't matter to him that she didn't have a quirk. To him, she was just Amari. Possibly. Person is like, excuse me, while I fangirl scream in the corner. Did I cry writing this confession? Possibly. Lots of unpacking here. We have possible Amari/Bakugos sibling relationship, and we have Amari realizing for the first time that people do look at her as a hero, and we have, of course, a big love confession scene. Next chapter, Dobby's offer comes back on the table, and Endeavor explains why he was so silent during the whole engagement declaration. Ooh, sounds interesting. So, check her out. I like her stuff. I got some more stuff to record, so I'm going to end this here. You will hear me in the next video, which I'm going to go record, but it's going to be a different, well, it depends on what stories you read, I suppose. If you're not listening to all the stories, you won't hear me in the next video, you hear me in the next, never mind. Yeah, bye-bye.